Hi guys, it's Jean from Jean's Gems. Just wanted to share with you a quick tutorial. Actually what this is a twist on a project that my friend made in a recent video. She calls it the Diane Fold, and it's a really fun junk journal embellishment to jazz up your journals and add a little bit of mystery to it. So let me show you what I have come up with. The actual finished product looks like this, and the idea is for you to pull it out, and then it becomes a little bag. Okay, now mine may be bending a little bit because my paper might be a little bit long, and I'll just have to work with that a little bit. This is the first time that I've made it, but I really like the idea of opening this and seeing like some goodies in there, some stickers or little tags or little mini envelopes, anything that you can add to your the receiver, whoever has the journal receives a journal, that they can find to maybe add when they're writing in it. Or another idea, Kim Newberg is the my friend that I watched make this, and I was thinking about she had mentioned using it as like a book. You could put a business card in there, or your journal is made by, and I thought that was a really cute idea too. And when she started talking about that, a business card, I thought about another way that we could make these bags. So I only had small bags available. So what the actual process is you'll see on the bag, whether you use a large one or whether you use a small one, you see where the bottom is folded up, so you get a line right here. Okay, so we're going to use that as the guide, and all you need to do is cut that off, and then make sure that when you're cutting it, that you do not cut into this part of the bag, the bottom part of the bag, because if you cut into that, then you're not going to have your base pocket at the bottom. So then you can keep this, and you can make some other things with this, and I'll show you what I made with mine. So the process would be basically just opening this up then and folding it down at the ends in a triangle shape, and the bottom in a triangle shape. Now with these, as you use them more and more and they begin to expand, and the more you work with them, the better they'll open. Okay, and you also want to make sure that when you are doing your designing, that you don't let anything interrupt the folds that you're making. So when you pull out these doors here, you want to make sure that those triangles can go in smoothly so you can get your little pouch that you have. So that is the first process. So what I have done is I've pre-cut a couple things. I'm using some paper that is a little bit thin. So I took some, this is actually a file folder piece, and I put these in here just to make sure I have the right size. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover these with my paper that I have, because the paper is pretty thin. And what I picked out to use was this, similar to the other one you saw. Let me see if I have one that has some different colors in it. Okay, we'll use this one that has more of a blue hue instead of the orange and red. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some glue and I'm going to cover these two pieces of file folder. The file folder just is a little bit sturdier so that you can make sure that when you pull on those side flaps or doors that they that it doesn't tear the paper. So I kind of centered that because I wanted this flower to show. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and then we'll see what it looks like on the other side. So I'm going to trim this off. You can use your scissors, you can use a ruler and an X-Acto knife or whatever you have handy. I'm just using scissors. I don't need this to be 100%. Especially on the end that's going to be going inside the edge of the bag. Now, I am going to ink this up a little bit. I don't know how much ink I have on this, but I'm going to ink this up a little bit so that it gives it a little bit more definition. And you'll find that a lot of mixed media as well as junk journal artists will often use an inking technique just to make more depth into the project. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the part here that has the sand dollar for the other half. So let me just pull that out, and then I will put some glue on this. And what's really funny is I started to make this video a little bit ago, and I was agreeing with Kim that she said something to the effect that if you have to do a video all over again, it's painful. Well, I had to start again because I thought I had all my supplies ready and I lost part of them. So I had to go back and search and clean up my desk a little bit so I could find the rest of my supplies. So no big deal there, but we all have little hiccups sometimes when we're making videos. Sometimes I can work through them. Sometimes I need to go back and redo them. Thankfully, I didn't get too far into the video. So here we have the flower and the sand dollar. I'm not sure how much of that will show, but I just leave a little tiny border. So this is going to go like this because it's upside, because we want to see these two down at the bottom. And this paper is really nice because it lends to you know, you're not having to do a whole lot of collaging on it because it has printed text on it and some other things. So now what we need to do is we need to cover our triangles. And I was trying to think how in the world I was going to measure to do the triangles, and I might have missed it on one of the other videos I watched, but the way that I am going to do this is I'm going to take the corner of a leftover piece of a similar paper, and I'm just going to lay that down on the corner. As you can see, I left a teeny tiny edge, and then I'm going to trim this off. Now, when you trim this off, you do want to be careful that you don't cut your bag. And then if there's any strings of glue there, you want to clean those up too. This is pretty good glue, but it does get kind of stringy or gloppy sometimes, so you do have to be careful, you know, because it'll glue down pieces that you didn't necessarily put glue on top of. So then I'm just going to take the other corner of this paper, as you can see, and I'm going to add this down to the other corner, and then just carefully cut that off so I don't cut the bag. And there you see we have all 4 of the front elements covered. And it's up to you whether you like it this way or if you like it this way. I kind of like it this way because I like this leaf pattern here. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take my ink. I'm going to get a little bit more of that. I use the tea dye ink from Tim Holtz, and I've had these for ever and a day, but I just want to get a little bit more ink on this so it looks a little bit more vintage. But the tea dye ink is my go-to for the most part. And when we were talking about you know, crafting or doing art on a budget, you only need to have maybe 1 or 2 inks that you use, which would probably be a brown and maybe a black. I use a black StazOn ink because a lot of times I'll do some script stamping, and I like that StazOn ink because if I do anything over top of it, it doesn't run. So there we have our little treasure bag. Or if we're gonna, oh, you know what, I forgot to glue these down. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it? So I'm going to glue these down. That way, when we pull it open, it won't come apart. Sorry about that. And we'll put some more glue down here. Now you can decorate these any way you want as far as the top's concerned. You can use lace or trim, buttons, stickers, anything that you have that you feel will add some beauty to this. Now, I am not really a super blingy person or anything like that, so I'm not about the extent of my bling is maybe some flat backs or something like that, or some Stickles glitter glue, which I use quite often if I ever need some glue. But even just like this, it's really pretty if you're doing a more muted type of journal. And then, as I said, you see how this is pulling? You have to make sure that when you're putting this together, that you're not gluing down any of the spaces that you need to allow the pocket to move. And if you get any glue on those edges, then it's not going to open up properly. So let me see what I have going on here that's not wanting to come out correctly. Let's see. I'm just going to press this down a little bit in here so I know everything's secure. And then I'm going to fold it back the way it belongs, and then we'll see what happens. Just press this side in. Okay. So here we have our fold out. It's like a treasure pocket or a bag, you could call it even, so that when the recipient gets it, maybe you want to stick in a couple little bird tags, and when you hold it like this, it'll stay closed. You could also, if you were concerned about it opening up at all and the things in here falling apart, we could easily add a button here and a button here and close that with some trim or some string. So I don't have any buttons ready to do that, but let's see what I have in here that might look nice. So this is one of, if you've seen some of my videos before, this is like one of my boxes where I kind of keep things. So since we're using the blue, let me see if I can find another blue one right here. This would look really pretty. We could add those, and then we could make a little closure. So let me go ahead and add these on. And then I'm going to show you what is actually different about this particular fold out than the ones that Kim was making. So let me see if I can get these to glue on right here. I just think that looks really pretty, the blue and the gold together. And then once they're dry, I will find a piece of twine or string that we can wrap those with. So there is the original design. I did hear Kim in the comments, someone mentioned using little doorknobs, and I think that would be adorable. I just don't happen to have any right now, so I'm just working with what I have. I keep a lot of boxes handy at my desk with different trinkets and things in them so that I can easily grab some of these things if I need them. Now, another idea that I thought was really cute for this is I had some scrapbook paper, that came with these tabs, and I just you just punch them out. And I thought they were cute. You will have to ink them for sure. But you could even put something like this on the edge, and then you would have a little tabby thing to pull. So that's a really cute idea as well, to put those on. Now, I don't think that I would put them on with the little beads that I put on, but if you look at that, it's really a cute idea to pull out the shutters with. That's what I think. These are like shutters, and then you open it and there's your window and your treasures. So that's the basic idea of the book. And here's another one that I made, and this one just is a little bit bigger on the flap, so you can make this part that goes on the flap as large as you want it to be. So this one's only like maybe 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch. This one's more like an inch. So just whatever your preference is. So those are the two that I made that were just plain, just like Kim made them. Now, I'm not sure if you all are familiar with tunnel books, but I recently watched a video where Natasha from Treasure Books was making a tunnel book, and she made one out of a house, and I made one similar, and I thought they were so fun. I haven't actually bound this one yet, but I did cut the different size windows so that it looks like a tunnel. But I was talking to my mom, and we decided that we're gonna call this not just a tunnel book, but maybe an infinity window. So what I've done here is, this is the base, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and this glue is so persnickety. I'm gonna go ahead and glue on this if I can get it to come out. I'm gonna have to be like Kim and hold hers upside down. So here is the first piece, and I'm gonna go ahead and ink it, especially in the middle, because I want you to be able to see either the keyhole or the infinity window. So the first piece to go down is the smallest window. And then what you want to do with this is you want to add something that can show through that window slightly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fussy cut this butterfly really quick, and then I will add it to the window. Now, for the purpose of the video, I just use scrap paper for this, but when you're making, if you're making something that you need to be color coordinated, you know, just pull out whatever colors you need for that particular project. So I'm going to put this butterfly, actually he might be too big. Let me think of what else I have here. Butterfly may be too big because this is so tiny, the space. I'm going to, where's my hole punch here? I'm just going to punch out of this shell piece a little hole, And I don't know where it flew off to, so we have to make another one. It's funny when you're doing tutorials where you think you have everything prepared and then you're still struggling. Okay, so here is a little circle. It's just a little tiny thing. And I am going to put a dab of glue on it. Come on, Mr. Glue. And then I'm going to just add it to the side of this window. Okay? And I'm gonna put it right here where I have this big blob of ink, because then you won't notice it as much. You're not going to see as much of it once I cover it up with the next layer anyway. So the next layer is a window that's just a little bit bigger. And as you can see your little circle showing here. Okay, so now on this window, I'm going to add a little piece of lace right here. And when you're doing your infinity window, is what I call them, named after my mom. Her name is Lola. Is you don't, when you are, for example, when you are adding your pieces together, you want to make sure that your window does not, your piece that you're putting down shows through your top window, but not necessarily. Actually, I'm going to turn this around so that the balls kind of show through. And then you could also put on here, if you wanted to, a little sticker, so that it will also give it a little bit of definition. Now, these stickers that I have, they're really cute. They're round, but you can also fussy cut the butterflies out so that they come out so cute when you add them. And you don't necessarily have to use all that extra around the edges. So let's just ink our butterfly a little bit so that these edges aren't too bad because they're already cream colored, but we'll go ahead and just ink these and make it look like it all runs together. I have the hardest time getting the backs off these things, even though I have fingernails. All right, sticker, let's unstick. You can use these stickers without unsticking them, but I want to stick this one down because I don't want it to go anywhere. And it's given me a fit. Oh, here we go. So we have the little ribbon right there, and then I'm going to put, and actually this butterfly may be more appropriate because it'll show through more. Or let me see here if I want to put it. Okay, we'll just try it this way. This is just kind of a trial and error thing, so bear with me while we work this out. And with these little window things, you don't need to have a whole lot of anything really showing through. So you can use as little as you want for that. So there we have 2 windows, and I forgot to ink that second one, but that's okay. This one I am going to ink so that it stands out more. And then I'm going to lay it over top of this one. And we can see some of the butterfly come through. And we can see some of the lace come through. So on this one, I'm going to put the butterfly up here. And I think that's all. Well, let's just use this little piece of lace that we have right here. You hear me making all these noises because my glue doesn't want to come out. So we'll put this right here, just a snippet of that. So let me cut this piece off. Okay, and we're gonna lay it down here, and I am going to take some glue. Now, when you're doing a book, the idea is you open each page and you can actually see what's on each page. But for this one, we're not going to open the pages. We're just going to make kind of like a stacked collage so we can see the different elements as we put them in. So I hope you guys can see the basic idea of this infinity window. And our last piece we have here, we're going to put that one on top. Let me go ahead and ink it because it's the top piece and we want to make sure that there's enough definition on this so that we can see what's on the outside. And I'm going to take the glue and I am going to just go around the edges and I'm going to completely glue this down. So here we have all of the windows. Wait a minute, that's upside down. All of the windows. Now it doesn't look like my lace is going to show through very much. So let me move that. I'm going to put it, let me put it on this side rather than at the bottom. And let me do it like this. Okay, and I'm going to trim that right here because I don't want anything sticking out the edge. And then I'm going to add this piece right side up onto the top. And as you can see, basically throughout the whole project, you're getting a glimpse of the different layers and the different cutouts for the window. And this is the last layer. Now I have these cute little, these also came with some punch outs as well. And there was one I wanted to use, this one right here. And I think I'm going to add it like this. And so I'm going to trim this little piece off. And then I'm going to ink it up a little bit. And these look like little, kind of like labels or something like that that you could put on. So I'm going to put that on the bottom. And this, with this particular project too, once you get to the top layer, you can become more dimensional if you'd like. And then you go ahead and add this. There we go. And I think that adds a cute little finish to it. Now, if you're noticing, the layers are a little bit uneven on the side. So if you want, you can probably ink these and it won't make a difference. Or what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to trim some of this down a little bit without trying to destroy the whole layering process. And then I'm going to take a goodly amount of ink here and go around the edges so that it looks kind of, you know, rustic or vintage, like, let me see here. I think I need to trim this little tiny piece off. So it kind of looks like a, it's going to go better with the pocket that we made earlier. So let me clean this off. I have strips and stuff here. And this beacon glue is really nice because it does glue very well metal to fabric. So these little rhinestone things are metal. So here is our original pocket. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up and I'm going to take out the little treasure. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set in the bottom, and let's hope I measured okay, an infinity window, so that when you open up your bag, you have this cool infinity window on the inside. So you can, like I said, build up as many layers as you want. You can design some more things on the front with butterflies and such, but I want you to be able to see that, how you layer the different pieces of paper. You have to cut out the different shapes. They don't all have to be the same. You can decorate the insides of each layer if you want. But I think that's just really cute, because then when you open it, you get something that the effect is that it goes on and on and on and on, kind of like the tunnel cards do. So that was my take on the Diane bag, of putting the tunnel book in the middle. Now I made another one. This was my original one that I made. I did decorate the flaps a little bit more. I used some lace and some mulberry paper, some pre-made tags, and these butterfly stickers. And then when you open this up, you can see the infinity window in there. So this one I did in all squares, and I think the colors lend to it being matching a little bit more here. Now this was the first one I made, so I accidentally cut a little hole here. So this is, I mean, that's, you can probably put some glue or something there to kind of hide that, but just be careful when you're trimming your windows that you don't accidentally cut any of the pieces. So we have these 3 here. This is the standard one, okay, that we can put our treasures in. And then here's one with knobs and a infinity window in it. And then of course this one is knobs with an infinity window in it. So that was just how I wanted to, what I came up with the project from my friend Kim Newberg and her friend Diane. So if you attempt this project, you know, it's really fun. You can come up with all kinds of designs and different sizes. As I mentioned to you, I only had the small bags available to me, so that's why mine are smaller. Then Kim had showed us how she had used her leftover bag for some projects. And what I did with mine is I have this is just a signature that I have, but I folded my bag and then I folded the edge of it and I made it be just a little pocket, and I put just a piece of trim here and a label here. And these are some tags, believe it or not, may have originally come from Kim a long time ago. So I thought that was a really cute way to use the leftover paper bag. And let me see if I can just recreate that, because you have, when you open this up, you have this gusseted part here. So what I did is I folded it down so that I could get a pocket. Let me see how I did that. Okay, so I did this, and then I did this. And that's how I made mine. Let me just check and see if that looks right. Yes. And the cool thing about this, if you do it this way, and then you just glue here, and you glue here, and you put a tiny bit of glue right in here, what you have, and that's up to you how much of the edges you want to glue. You do need to glue down at least this side and this side over here, because that's what gives you the pocket. But what's really cute about this is that on this end I left the serrated edge open. Wait a minute, let me see how I left that open. Right under here. Okay, so you're gluing the back of the bag to your journal space, and then you can lift it up here, and then you've got another pocket. So you can use 2 tags right here, and then one right here that you can pull out. And then some people like to put their put things in more sideways. So you have the option for putting it sideways, or like I was telling you before, the way that this journal will be when I'm finished is it's going to be so that you have a lot of stuff sticking out at the edge. So that was my take on using the rest of the bag, because it's just a small piece. You could do like Kim had done with hers, and sew and cut some little bags, or make a fold out or something of that nature. But this worked really cute, because then you have on this edge a pocket. If you want to leave it all the way to go all the way through, you can. That's up to you. But if you are going to make it a pocket, you need to glue down these two pieces together, and then you need to glue down your flap, and then you will want to glue down here and here, and then press it all out. And then you can decorate the front however you want to make yourself a little pocket, and that way there's no waste with any of the leftover that you didn't use. These little things like I used on the window, this pops out, so you could even use something like this on here. I think that would be cute. And then if you wanted to, you could even, you know, just put something like this here or here, like as a tab. So there's all kinds of things that you can do. And personally, for me, I like the brown paper bag, or the craft stock color best. I don't know why. Maybe I'm a boring person. I don't exactly know, but I like things that are in leaf tones and browns when I'm crafting, some blue, muted colors mainly. I'm not a way out there blingy person, although you know you've seen some of my hauls from Temu that I do have some pearly things and I have some blingy things. And actually I love the way these little flat backs go with that muted color. It just dresses it up really nice. So I hope you enjoyed this little take on I forget what she called it, the Diane pocket or something like that. I hope you enjoyed my little take on that, of putting the little infinity window in the bottom. And I went ahead and cut out all the shapes ahead of time, but like I said, with the infinity or the tunnel books, you don't have to make everything the same size, so, or the same shape. So this one's a square, and then this one is more of a house shape, and then this one you get a crazy little shape, and this is a tiny triangle, and then the very bottom is just a little square. So these are all done where I double-sided them. I just have to bind them on the side, and I thought this was just a really cute project that Natasha did. I am not a fan of working with an X-Acto knife very much. when I first got out of high school, I worked for a book company where I had to cut text. So what they did is they gave you a sheet of text that had wax on the back of it, and you had to take a T-square with an X-Acto knife and cut out those pieces of text and then fit them in on the real page where errors had been made. So to me, that was a very tedious job. I don't remember how long I did that for, but at that, I used to cut myself all the time with X-Acto knives. So I'm not really a fan of using them, but so if you do decide to cut this with your X-Acto knife, just be careful that you don't cut yourself and then ruin your project if you bleed or something. So here are our finished projects, and let me know if you liked my take on this this idea, and if you have any other questions or concerns, let me know. I have enjoyed visiting with you today, and I hope you all have a good Sunday tomorrow. We've been having rain here, so it's been dreary but fine. And I will be participating in the Temu Tuesdays that we're going to be starting, so you can see how I use some of my Temu items in my projects. And actually tonight, the butterflies were Temu. This paper was Temu. This is Temu. These are Temu. So I do use a lot of my things that I get from them in my projects. There's no sense in hoarding all that. I mean, we use what we have. So thank you for visiting. I want to encourage you to like and subscribe if you've come across my channel, and I love you all, and I hope you have a great evening. Bye for now.